Yeah, they slid in there.
And the Dodgers was hurt or something.
Well, you know the Dodgers, they cheat for them bastards all the time.
Oh yeah, it's too much money. Too much money.
Yeah, too much money. If the Dodgers see, that's what I be trying to tell these people. Everything is economics. You
Yeah.
need your big teams winning. Why do you think they changed the New York Knicks around? They need them winning. Brooklyn, KD in Brooklyn, that's money. The Warriors, Steph Curry and them made themselves the face. Steph Curry made himself the face. Now he got drawing power. The kids love Steph Curry. The white
Oh yeah.
people love Steph Curry because he's safe. You know, they don't like KD like that. KD speak his mind. I mean he intelligent. Nah, that's a scary nigga.
Right.
Can't do that. Can't do that, sir. Can't do that at all. You can't talk. You talk too much. You know, you see what they doing to Kyrie, and now they talking about they finna mandate the state thing like the the googly moogly.
Yeah. But I don't understand. So how can like football players like Aaron Rodgers, how can he play in New York or something like?
Cause he white.
Hey.
And because he the golden boy.
Right.
They want him to be the face.
Right.
They need him to play Tom Brady. Get them ratings up there. Who's the better number 12? Even though Brady done won like 80 damn Super Bowls, we still trying to compare him to a guy who won one. It's like, how stupid can you be?
Yeah.
But this is their stupidity. This is the media.
Yeah. You're not gonna put Frank Tarkenton over Johnny Unitas. You
Oh,
know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Or Mark Starr and nothing like that. So I don't understand why they're trying to swing that shit and make him look like he can actually be compared to Brady.
Right. Exactly. And then it blew up. And then this year they trying to get the Patriots in there to play Brady. You know how that'll be money for the Super Bowl. That's what I was trying to tell these people. Like, bro, they're gonna have the Patriots play. You got the young Tom Brady versus the old one. It's like, come on, it's like so easy to see what they're doing.
I don't know. I know the Chiefs. The Chiefs is they trying to put them back up in.
Yeah, they want to put Mahomes. Well, see, they got a bunch of storylines. They want to at least have the storylines ready in case somebody nut up and don't do their job. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, all right, so we'll have. They want the State Farm shit with Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. Who more sweeter? Who more fruity pebble? That's the fruity pebble Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And then
The other year, 2 years ago, I had called it, but the Packers fucked it up.
yeah, they messed it up because Aaron Rodgers always choked.
Overrated.
Yeah, he overrated. Always been overrated. I don't know why, dog. He like LeBron to me, dog. They the same player, and everybody get mad. They like, man, LeBron won more championships. I'm like, well, his 4 championships equal that one Aaron did in football. Football's tougher, so
Yeah, way more players.
yeah, way more players you got to worry about. So
More teams too. You mean better teams? Yeah. Yeah, but LeBron still suck ass anyway.
the dude, this dude could pick everybody to play on his team, and you still lose. That's what I don't understand. You could pick everybody from the Miami Heat roster to every other roster and say, okay, we got a team now, we can win, and he lose. It's like how?
Like, what do you need to win, LeBron? It was like, yeah, just let me be able to pick my players on my team, and let me pick my coach. And let me pick my coach.
I'm still mad about his bum ass when he went off in that game one against the Warriors. I'm like, okay, he about to win. All right, he about to shut me up. I ain't got shit to say. He had Steph Curry on him one on one. Got the pick one on one. I'm like, all right, he finna take this nigga to the hole because you know he's 6'9". Curry like what 6'1", 6'2". probably weigh what, $110? Shit. Man, he backed him up. This nigga passed it to George Hill. I was done. I turned it off. I said I can't watch this shit no more. Can't do it. I'm done. I'm done with basketball. I turned it off, dog. I was done. I can't. You had Steph Curry on you and you passed it to George Hill. And then Shannon Sharp tried to say he made the right basketball play. I'm like, giving it to George Hill?
Yeah.
Nigga, George Hill, the most mentally weak player I've ever seen.
It wasn't like when Jordan passed it to Kerr. He actually had defenders on him. Yes,
Jordan got double teamed. They double teamed Jordan, and he said, Kerr just wet. Kerr was wide open. Paxson, he passed, he was double teamed. And they kept telling Jordan, because, you know, Jordan don't pass the ball. So they like, Jordan, pass it to Paxson. He open. So Jordan was like, okay, championship.
Most teams don't even double LeBron.
They don't, because LeBron's going to get to the hole and pass it to that corner. He loved throwing it to the corner three. That's his shit. Or he like throwing it to the elbow three.
That's why he got all the hits. It's because he driving, though.
Yeah, he drives. But the thing is with him, LeBron can't shoot free throws at the end. He's scared of the last second free throw. So that's why he passes it out, because you be like, LeBron, just go get the foul. Knock the 2 free throws down, go home. That's what everybody used to do. Iverson, Kobe, Isaiah Thomas, Michael, Bird, all of them would go, drive, get fouled, knock the 2 free throws down, because they're going to get the superstar call. They're going to get that call. He passes it out, and then they shoot the damn 3. It's like, when they miss it, they be like, how did he miss that shot? Well, because LeBron's offense, if you're in his offense, you're not going to have a rhythm because you're a standstill shooter. Whereas when Jordan played in his offense or Kobe played in their offense, they move the ball. Like, they'll get the ball in the post. Mike and Kobe would be the center, because that's what the triangle was made from, the center. That's who Tex Winners made the offense around, the center. So Michael would become the center, so did Kobe. So guys would be rotating, so they would hit guys on cuts, or they would hit them on back cuts, or they'll take the shot 90% of the time themselves. That's why, like, Kobe's PER is so low, because Kobe played off the ball more than Mike and LeBron. He didn't play with the ball all the time. So that's what I be trying to tell people. Like, he shot the ball a lot, but the offense, it had an offense, like they moved the ball. So, like, if he get a ball to Robert Horry in a clutch situation, like LeBron did to Danny Green, Robert Horry hit that shot because Robert Horry got some points during the game and he was able to touch the ball. You got to understand, it's simple physics.
Yeah, chemistry, goddamn, really.
Right, it's chemistry. It's like me and you, like when Trick and what's your boy? Trick and Adi, they said they wanted to play us 2-on-2. We busted their ass because we know how each other play. So I know how you like to play. You like to go right. You on crossover, go right. I said, all right. So if you miss it, I could put myself in position. You know me, I got a big body, so I can rebound, and I got long arms, so I can rebound every time. Or I could throw a bow, get that bitch. That's what I'm going to do. You know, Dennis Rodman was my guy. That's who I play like. You know what I'm saying? So, then I know you go get your shot. You miss it. I'm like, okay, lay up. Or you give me the ball. I'm like, oh, trick on me? What? Post up, turn around, lay it up, or fade away. Easy.
He ain't play no defense, couldn't play no defense. He just like to shoot and can't even shoot.
No. That's what I'm saying. It's like, that's all he did. He just shot the ball like he was the laziest basketball player I ever seen. It's like, dog, like, you could never beat me. Like, one-on-one, I would destroy you. You're lazy. And then you don't have a left. So if you don't have a left and I'm going, because I got a left, I can go left or right. I practiced my left because I played basketball growing up. That was my first sport because I couldn't play football. I was too big. So I said I play basketball, shit, and learned how to shoot with my left. So that's how I figured out how to play. It's like, it's not rocket science. But yeah, trick. That's why I said when I watch LeBron, that's how I know how he plays. I'm like, dude, like he's left-handed. It's just that he shoots right. He's ambidextrous. So he could go left or to his right, but he doesn't have a strong dribble. And then he doesn't know how to move without the ball. If you watch all the players that play with him, when they leave him, their averages, even if they're a role player, they get better because they're touching the ball more. They're actually running sets. He doesn't know how to run sets. Paul Silas tried to teach him. You remember Paul Silas, OG. The OG Paul Silas. He tried to teach LeBron how to play the game. LeBron got mad at him for trying to coach him and got him fired. But they told Paul to step down because they actually respected him as a black guy. They didn't like other black guys, but he's cool.
Mike Brown tried to get him to play defense and do all that shit too.
But no, they told him but they told Mike Brown, like, don't do that. Because they was gonna fire Mike Brown.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they fired him later, like when Braun left. But they was finna fire him earlier. Like if he would have kept saying that to LeBron, Bron don't play that. Then he tried to get Spo fired. But Pat Riley we know Pat Riley. We know Pat Riley don't play that shit.
Oh yeah.
Pat Riley said, fuck that. Spoelstra's still my coach. Because Pat Riley know that he could control Spoelstra. He knows Spoelstra, he could get a plays to Spoelstra. Spoelstra running. He ain't going to be like that fat bitch Stan Van Dummy and fuck the game up in the clutch.
Yeah, he's the biggest idiot I
know. He the fattest dumb motherfucker ever. Like, dog, this nigga here's a donut eating piece of shit. With all this damn, the donuts with the sprinkles, nigga, like the pink one. He don't even get the chocolate. That nigga get the pink. I need the pink. Oh, like you fat fuck. Couldn't even call none. He gonna put Jameer Nelson in the fucking game against the Lakers. We had the Lakers. We beat them twice that year. This dude here put Jameer Nelson in. I'm like, dude, Jameer Nelson ain't playing 4 months.
They want to put him in the starting lineup in the finals.
Messed all our chemistry up. Messed everything up.
Skip to the Lou on the bench. What, bro?
Oh, God, yeah. Skip to my Lou one.
Better point guard than Jameer Nelson.
I swear.
He was only like, about 5'11" maybe?
Man, he was about 5'10", but see, he wasn't the killer. The dude that was the killer out there was Delonte. Delonte was the beast out there. It was him and Delonte. They were killing niggas in the tournaments. Cause remember, he was at the point and Delonte was the off guard. He was the 2.
Yeah.
And Delonte was wetting dudes. He was hitting threes. He was coming off of picks. Just the dude was a killer. And he I think 6'3", 6'4"-ish. Like, he got some length to him. And I said, man, this light-ass redhead nigga is raw. He looking like a little Jason Lasseter out there.
Yeah. And they had Rashad Lewis.
Yep.
I was like, I don't know what man gonna
Yeah.
do.
And then we had Anthony Johnson, the old vet. He would come in there for 10, 15 minutes in the first half. Then we'll bring it back for another 10 or 15 minutes to close the game.
He just fucked that whole shit up.
Yeah. That nigga was dumb, dog. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I be trying to tell these motherfuckers. Like, they be trying to tell us about the game and shit, man. I just be looking at them like, dog, look, I've seen these guys play before. I watched these guys. Basketball was my first sport. Like Michael and all them, and they weren't even my favorite players, nigga. My favorite players, nigga, was you had Clyde Drexler. Drexler was my guy. And your boy Uncle Clifford Robinson, that was my guy, yeah. Cliff was my guy, because Cliff always looked like he got done smoking a port and he was finna come knock a nigga out if they tried him on the court.
Yeah, he was tough.
Yeah, then Dennis Rodman, that was my nigga. Your boy was your other boy, what's that nigga name? Mitch Richmond. Mitch Richmond was underrated. They never gave Mitch Richmond his due. Mitch Richmond
and Glenn Robinson.
Yep.
I like the Milwaukee back in the day. They had Glenn Robinson and Ben Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Cassell, ugly ass.
Oh man, that nigga was ugly, but he could hoop though, couldn't he though? That nigga could hoop. That ugly ass nigga could hoop. I'd be like, damn, that nigga ugly. That boy eyes, that nigga look just like the Crypt Keeper. And that nigga was out there crossing niggas. He was getting to the hole. He was hitting the three. I said, this nigga here is a beast. I fucks with him. That's an ugly ass nigga, but I fucks with him though.
Yeah, he was good.
And Mitch Richmond used to give it to Jordan. Niggas forget about Mitch Richmond, The Rock.
Mitch Richmond, Larry Johnson.
Oh man, Larry, grandmama dunking on niggas. Remember him and Zoe was on the same team? They was whooping niggas' asses.
That was my squad.
That was my squad. You had Muggsy at the point. You had Dale Curry. Yep. Glenn Rice. Yep. Glenn Rice and shit hitting them threes from the corner.
Yeah, they had a squad. They should have won.
Oh man, you know they weren't gonna win. You know they weren't gonna let Crybaby Jordan not win. Come on, you know they weren't gonna let Jeffrey Jordan not win.
Yeah, but they didn't work well together. They hate because they was talking about that team. They hated each other because they all wanted number one.
No, it wasn't that. The problem was Alonzo. The thing is, Larry Johnson didn't take care.
That's what it was.
No, Larry didn't take care of his body. He was always eating gummy bears and all type of stuff.
Alonzo was taking his shots away because he was hurt, and then he got mad at him about it, and that caused them to have problems.
Yeah, but Alonzo, no, he got mad because Alonzo was trying to teach him how to take care of his body, because Alonzo's a workout warrior. Alonzo works out, run, gets in shape. Larry Johnson was like Derrick Rose. They're athletic, but they eat junk food. They didn't take care of their body, so that's why they suffered major injuries. Larry Johnson thought that Alonzo was trying to sabotage him and shit, and Alonzo wasn't trying to sabotage Larry. Alonzo wanted Larry to do well. That's what happened. It was a miscommunication, and then he went to Miami. The media started fueling the Larry Johnson versus Alonzo like they do all the black athletes. So that's what stirred it up. It wasn't no Larry with he got mad because Alonzo was trying to teach him. Alonzo saw the potential. It's like Jimmy Butler and Derrick Rose went through this. Jimmy Butler was trying to teach Derrick Rose, yo man, you can't be eating all that stuff. You gotta eat right. Because your body in the NBA is different from an average person. I can go eat that junk food because I'm not playing sports. But these guys are playing sports that fucks their body up. So that's why he was trying to tell them, yo, you gotta work out. You can't be eating all this junk food. That shit gonna hurt you. And it ended up hurting Larry Johnson. And then when Alonzo got that heart condition, him and Larry squashed their shit. Larry reached out to him and they actually had a man-to-man conversation. That's the stuff that they don't show you on ESPN. You got to read that shit.
Yeah. They ain't gonna show you no shit like that.
No, they're not going to show you that. They want to show you the beef and shit.
That's what sells, period. Bad shit sells. That's just what it is.
Yeah. But that's what messed them up and stuff. It wasn't that. They didn't have internal problems. The problem was Larry didn't take care of his body. That's why he suffered that bad back injury. And, he got better shooting the ball. He worked on his game, but Larry could have been something even more if he would have took care of himself. He didn't take care of himself. Larry could have been one of the best power forwards to play the game. He had the size, the athleticism. He was Zion before Zion.
Yeah, you're right.
He was Zion. Like everything Zion do, I'm like, that's Larry Johnson. They trying to compare him to Barkley. I'm like, nah, he didn't have the game Barkley had. Barkley had game. Barkley was way more skilled than Zion. Barkley could take you off the dribble and he could post you up. He used to take them to the post and be averaging like sometimes 25 to 30 points on your ass just in the post.
They don't realize how Barkley playing weight was a lot smaller than what he got to now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Barkley wasn't that dude.
Barkley's not tall. Like for an NBA player, Barkley was 6'4".
But his position too, he definitely not tall.
No. Barkley was just strong. He was strong as hell. He was an ox. That's why he was awesome. He could out rebound you, and then he could elbow you, and then he got in position.
He got his body in the paint.
Yep. That's what a lot of these power forwards today don't do.
And they don't be doing nothing with it. That's why I would hate watching Tristan Thompson, and I still do. It's like he's way too big to not be wanting to use his body in the paint.
Yeah.
They just put LeBron.
Even after that, it was still like, bro, like
LeBron killed it. He
hasn't just started doing that. He was doing that in college. That's why I understand. Listen, once they talk about LeBron being a coach, whatever, LeBron has made some of the most dumbass picks that I've seen of people to pick up. And I'm like, even before he got there, I'm like, he doesn't fit though. He's not.
Tristan Thompson was the toughest guy on the team. Everybody else was damn near soft. I mean, who was hard on the team?
You think Tristan Thompson?
He played harder than anybody on the team.
No.
Did you watch any of those?
Yes. Kevin Love was out rebounding him off an injury. Bro, Kevin Love could have not played 4-5 games and would still have more rebounds than Tristan Thompson.
Tristan Thompson did all the dirty work. He did all the dirty work.
He didn't do no dirty work.
Yes, he did. You ain't watching the game. You didn't watch the game, bro. Because
he could get out rebound by Steph. That nigga was.
No, LeBron was getting out rebound by Steph. No, I'm trying to put that on.
But he ain't a center or a power forward either. And Tristan Thompson was getting his ass out rebound by everybody, bro. And he
was still the toughest player on the Cavs.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He was.
No.
He was.
Well, the problem with the Cavs and everything, why they didn't win was, it's like I said, the reason LeBron loses is he can't play off the ball. If he ever learned how to play off the ball, LeBron would have been like, he wouldn't have been 4-6. He would have been like 6-4, 6-2. Like he would have been that good because he would have been able. That's why D Wade was so great. D Wade could get all his stuff off the ball. He can run the baseline. He disappears. That's why they called him Flash. He disappeared, caught the ball mid range, knocked it down. LeBron don't.
Guard.
Yeah, he's a 2 guard. LeBron's not even he's a point guard. LeBron is a point guard. He never learned how to play the small forward because he can't play off the ball. He brings the ball up all the time, 90% of the time, and that's not good for your small forward to do. Your small forward need to be helping in the paint with the power forwards and the centers at times. He only does that on the defensive end. Defensive rebounds, he'll have about 9 or 10. Because there's nobody contesting no more. The lanes are open now. It's not like the 80s and 90s where everybody crowded the paint. That's why the rebounds now are just easier to get. And I don't understand why a lot of these tall guys don't average 15 or 20 rebounds a game. It's easy now than it was then. 10,
15 rebounds a game because ain't nobody in there trying to go for a rebound.
Right.
He could be getting rebounds like that and don't use his body, his height, all that to get them.
That's because he was never coached well. Because after he played with LeBron, bro, he fucks up everybody's chemistry. The man never learned how to play basketball.
He had been doing that since college.
I definitely ain't watched that in college, but I know what I seen. And he could play. He just because it's some games.
Because I was like, There's a reason that LeBron chose this nigga to play with him. And I had
he didn't choose him. Tristan was on the team before him because this was supposed to happen. Kyrie Irving and Andrew Wiggins were supposed to be together. LeBron came back to Cleveland because him and Pat Riley couldn't get along. Kyrie wasn't going to sign the contract. They lied to Kyrie saying that LeBron wasn't coming back. Tristan was there for Kyrie and Andrew Wiggins and them. It was going to be Kyrie's team. They were going to give him the max. And they lied to him. So that's why him and LeBron never liked each other. Because he never wanted to be there with LeBron. Kyrie wanted to have his own team. He wanted to grow with his own team. And he was injured his first 3 years. So he finally got back off injury. He was ready to go, signed the contract. Tristan Thompson was drafted for Kyrie to play with, not LeBron. LeBron wasn't supposed to play with none of them. LeBron just kept him just to keep him. But Tristan was there for Kyrie. He wasn't there for Bron.
Yeah.
Bron brought other players there, like Kevin Love, like they traded Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love. And that's why Andrew was in Minnesota. Kevin Love came over there.
Yeah.
And they formed their little big three.
Yeah.
But Tristan was never supposed to be there for LeBron. No, the team was supposed to be Kyrie, Andrew Wiggins, Thompson, Deion Waiters. What was the other guy name? I forgot the other guy name. I think Jamario Moon or something like that team.
They had some.
They were JR, JR was in New York, and then they traded and brought him there. They brought him there to the Cleveland because him and LeBron cool. So yeah.
That's what I thought you was talking about. I thought you was talking about people he brought there.
Oh JR he brought there, but the people I was saying originally was like Jamario Moon, Tristan Thompson, Andrew Wiggins was going to be there with Kyrie. But LeBron decided to come back, and it was the last minute. They knew he was coming back. He wasn't going to come back unless Kyrie was there. They lied to Kyrie and told Kyrie that he wasn't coming. Kyrie never wanted to play with LeBron. He wanted to be on his own team. So they lied to Kyrie, and then they told LeBron, oh yeah, we got Kyrie to sign. That's when LeBron came back, and Kyrie was going to request a trade. Kobe Bryant talked him out of it and told him to stay. But Kyrie was finna leave.
Yeah, he ain't never want to play with LeBron.
No, he didn't want to play with LeBron because everybody know about LeBron around the league. They just can't say it because if they say it in the public, they're blackballed. It's the same thing Jordan would do to you in the 90s. If you talk bad about Jordan, you'll get blackballed. Well, everything came from Jordan because Jordan started crying like a bitch because the Pistons used to whoop his ass all the time. And that's why we got all this flagrant foul bullshit because Michael was a crybaby. Him and little Scotty Big Nose Bitch Pippen.
Well, with Jordan, they created the superstar in basketball because it used to be about the Celtics.
Yep.
It used to be about the Lakers.
Yep.
It was about
teams. The Sixers too. Yep, the Sixers and Bucks. Everything was about team. Then when Michael, they started talking about individual. When he started, coming up. And then they wanted to push him because Larry Bird back went out because he was trying to fix his mom's driveway. And Magic, they were going to make the league in the 90s, Magic versus Jordan. Magic got HIV. So they had to just go with Jordan. And Jordan raised the income of the league. They were getting viewership like football games because football was killing basketball with viewership and shit. So they finally got viewership because they promoted Michael, but they hated the Pistons because the Pistons used to whoop Michael ass all the time. Michael couldn't beat them. Like they were too good of a team. Like they were too cerebral for Michael. And then the year they finally beat the Pistons, they took all the people from the Pistons team because they created that draft because they had expansion teams. So they hindered the Pistons team to help this bitch ass dude Michael out. And Michael only beat them because their teams were hurt. Like the Pistons were hurt the whole year. They shouldn't
Yeah,
even
they
made it.
changed the rules.
Right, they changed the rules and shit. Yeah, they changed the rules for Mike. So all these Jordan fans getting mad. It's like, bro, like Michael was the only difference between Michael and LeBron is Michael actually could play the game. That's it. But both of them crybabies and bitch ass niggas. So that's just facts.
Yeah.
Cause everybody get mad at me like, man, you like Jordan. I'm like, fuck that bald headed bitch too. I ain't like that nigga.
Yeah. I still like the Magic over both.
Man, Magic was better than him. Magic, Bird, and Isaiah Thomas were better than Michael Jordan. Michael was not better than them. Isaiah Thomas can control the game. Like him, Bird, and Magic could kill you by attempting 9 shots a quarter. If Michael attempt 9 shots a quarter, your team loses. Cause he's a scorer. He has to have the ball in his hand. He revolutionized the 2-guard position because there were not a lot of 2 guards like Mike. Like he wasn't
the whole the way he did
it. Right. You had Kobe played more tougher 2 guards in his era because everybody was the damn same, if not better. You had T-Mac, you had AI, you had Ray Allen.
That's why I say Kobe is better than him. Because I'm like, Kobe played better competition than Jordan.
Yeah. He
Especially
did.
at this position, like, whether you want to say the league as a whole, I'm like, when Jordan came in, it was all about your big men, your 3s and your 4s and your 5s. It wasn't about your point and your shooting guard. Those weren't even though you're not talking about stars, the star players were your Kareem, the David Robinsons.
Mm-hmm.
So the bigger players. So when Jordan came in, they basically just tailored the game around him. It's just like them doing the same thing with quarterbacks now. It's like they tailored the game around the person that was making them the most money.
Well, they didn't start tailoring. You're right, but the one part you're not right about is they didn't tailor it after Michael when he came in. They tailored the league around Bird and Magic, Boston and LA. That's the staple. That's the NBA staple is Boston and LA. But Michael started when he came in and was balling. That's when they started giving him, they tailored the rules in that form in the 90s because Dave Urban,
When he came in, they started tailoring the game around him. I'm saying as Jordan, because people forget, like, Jordan basically became a brand onto himself, creating more hype than the league was at a time. So him creating more hype around himself and around his brand as a person is what caused the league to be like, oh, we're going to shift towards him because it was before they could create the person. Like,
well, it was when he did the dunk contest. When him and Dominique
doing the commercial with Spike, then him doing stuff like that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, when he got his own shoe and wore him in the game, that's
when the only reason they went to Mike is because Bird got hurt. They wanted to ride Bird and Magic out because Bird was that white guy who can actually ball. So that's the same thing they're doing with Luka now. Luka's gonna be the face. It wasn't okay, but I feel you. But it wasn't just about the shoes. Michael got his own shoes and started getting popularity, but Larry Bird and Magic were the faces. Bird got hurt, so they had to try to find somebody to replace Bird. So it was Michael. They went towards Michael, but then when Magic got the HIV and everything and all that, they decided, okay, we'll just make the league around Michael because Dick Urbansaw moved the NBA from CBS to NBC. And he wanted to make Michael Jordan the face of the league because of his athleticism. And basically that's when they added the flagrant foul. That's when the flagrant foul came in because he didn't want to see Michael getting taken out the air because that's how the Pistons used to beat him. They used to take him out the air. They used to force him to beat you and shut down the rest of his teammates. That's why Pippen ain't come back in the game, because they was beating Pippen ass. He couldn't take it. He had a migraine. So now they changed the rules and helped him get started, and that's when all of that started, where they catered to him. But beforehand, no, he wasn't going to be the face. It was still Bird and Magic. Bird just got hurt. His back gave out. So that's why they went towards Magic and Mike, and then they were going to promote Magic and Mike. It was going to be Magic versus Mike, and then eventually 2 or 3 years later, because it was going to be Michael beat Magic to get ingratiated so they could do the Dream Team. Then Magic would come back, beat Michael, and then Michael would come back and eventually overtake him. That's what it was supposed to be with LeBron and Kobe. LeBron was supposed to win the first meeting, Kobe win the second one, then LeBron win the last one, so then you can move him out the way and then go Kobe passed the torch to LeBron. That's the passing of the torch. But LeBron kept losing in them games, so that fucked up their whole scheme. Everything is a storyline. That's all. It's a business. It's not about the actual play. The best players don't win championships all the time. That's the best in the league. It's just that they don't push them to win championships. It's a business. If I'm marketing Steph Curry is not better than Kevin Durant, but I'm going to push Steph Curry because Steph Curry could get more fans. More kids love Steph Curry than Kevin Durant. That's where your money is at. So now I market it after Steph Curry. Then you got the older guys, the older brothers who like LeBron. So, okay, I'm going to put LeBron versus Steph Curry. That's why when Kevin Durant went there, that fucked their money up. So now they had to promote it. Kevin Durant's the villain. LeBron's the hero. Have you noticed that shit? That's what they do. That's the NBA. That's what all it is who has the best narrative. It's not about the best player. It's about the best narrative. Who's the best narrative? Okay, I'm going to go with this guy. So that's why they were promoting Kobe as the villain, because he had the rape allegation. So they were like, you know what? We can't roll with that no more because that's a bad stain. So we're going to prop LeBron up because, see, LeBron wasn't supposed to get pushed until 08 and 09. But because of Kobe's rape allegations, they had to take the league from Kobe and move it to LeBron sooner. LeBron wasn't supposed to have the league in 03 and 04. They had to make him the league because Tim Duncan was too quiet and boring. He was boring. And then Shaq ain't got no game. Like, he's funny, but Shaq don't have a personality to carry the league. He can't carry the league. So they were stuck. So they're like, fuck it. We're going to go to LeBron. Allen Iverson, they wanted to give Iverson the league, but Iverson was too rugged. He was too street. Can't give it to Allen Iverson. Can't do it. We're scared of him. He got braids and tattoos. So they had to go to the next guy, T-Mac. T-Mac was too quiet. So T-Mac didn't like all that. He reserved. Real reserve. So we're going to go with LeBron. We're going to prop him up. We're going to throw him in the finals. He's going to lose this time, but we're building him up for everybody to say, you know what? LeBron's the future. Now we can promote LeBron. LeBron was getting pushed. Then they start doing the puppet commercials because Kobe was out here in LA just destroying the league, dropping 50s, 60s. 81, the shit was crazy. Like, we never seen this shit before. He was putting up Wilt Chamberlain numbers out there. So we start watching him, and now the league is like, now we got our competition. Kobe the villain versus LeBron the hero. That was your finals. And LeBron and them lost, so they were like, okay, they had to push Kobe. Then they blocked the Chris Paul trade because they were done with Kobe. They're ready to move on. They need LeBron to win. LeBron went to Miami. They pushed LeBron. LeBron won. Boom. Now they can push the league behind them. All this shit is fake, dog. It's like storybook.
I've been saying this shit. Just like wrestling. Just like Vince McMahon picking who he want to be the champion.
Yep, wrestling.
Running it just
That's
like
why I don't understand how people talk about wrestling. I'm like, y'all will watch the NFL, y'all will watch the NBA, you will watch all of this, especially now UFC and boxing is the same damn way.
Yeah.
That will literally have written out storylines that niggas don't see because they're like, oh, well, they really fighting. I'm like, they are literally giving you a straight up written storyline and you just can't see it.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. It's just with better. It's just more. It's more realistic coverage. The way they film it is more realistic.
Yeah.
Not even because of the way that they talk, the stuff that they do is more realistic.
Right.
They just film it in a more realistic way, so you think it's real.
Right. Right. Well, it's the sport is real, but the referees control the game. It's like they control the outcome.
Sport not even fully real because even it's like the refs got so much control now.
Right. Right. Yep, they do.
What's his name? Wack was talking about this too. How he was like when he originally came in the league, the relationship between the refs and players in the NBA. At first, you could have a conversation and they could be like, okay, well, listen, I ain't called this, but you need to chill out on doing this because they can see it, I can see it, and they can actually have a conversation about what you're doing. He was like, by the time he got out the league, you couldn't even talk to a ref without getting a flagrant foul.
Yep.
So it's like it's just more production, more control over it, but people don't look at it like that.
Right.
So of course.
Cause look at the Saints and the Rams game. The dude blatantly pass interference them, but the market, LA is a bigger market than New Orleans. So I'm going to push the Rams. And they just opened the stadium. So it was blatantly to see what they were doing. Just like the year New Orleans won the Super Bowl. What happened that year? Katrina. Okay, that's the storyline.
Way after Katrina. No, it was. Yes, it was. Katrina happened in 05. They didn't go Katrina happened in 05.
Okay, it happened in 05, but they were getting your mind. They brought that to the city. They built the team up, got them the Super Bowl. What were they running the whole Super Bowl? Katrina happened a couple years ago. This happened, and this is a story. It doesn't matter if it happened 2 years before the Super Bowl. They could push that narrative. It's a narrative.
It's after 9/11.
Right. 9/11, they pushed the Patriots. Because the Raiders are supposed to go. They pushed the Patriots. They robbed the Raiders. And they already hated the Raiders because Al Davis, shout out to Al Davis, rest in paradise, sued the NFL and won. Fuck the NFL. But they lost because the Patriots. It's the patriotic way. So it's like, come on. Like we.
Okay, why? Because I still don't understand this. Because I've always not liked Aaron Rodgers. Why do you think Aaron Rodgers got his shot when he did? Because to me, it doesn't make sense. I'm like, he's in, even though he's in a small market, okay, Green Bay has a lot of.
No, Green Bay's historic. Green Bay's like Boston and the Lakers. They're historic, so they're always going to be around.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm like, other than that, like, what is the reason? Because it's like, it's not like he wasn't getting a bunch of people, like, everybody just like, oh, yeah, you know, we all love Aaron Rodgers. Like, Aaron Rodgers wasn't, until, like, in the last, like, 5 years before that, Aaron Rodgers was not, they was not talking about Aaron Rodgers like, oh, yeah, like, they was holding Ben Roethlisberger over him. They was holding Tom Brady. They was holding Drew Brees, Peyton Manning. All of them was all better than him, and they all held him above him. Why at the end, it was like, all right, we're going to give Green Bay this ring. I still don't understand that.
Because, okay, Ben Roethlisberger had the rape cases, so they couldn't really go with him. And then you had Peyton. They wanted to push Peyton, but Peyton choked too much. He didn't have a good postseason like he did in the regular season. So Aaron Rodgers, they're pushing Aaron Rodgers because he's in Green Bay. He's a Green Bay quarterback. Plus, Aaron Rodgers is allegedly, he's gay. He's a gay guy. And who runs the league? Roger Goodell's gay. So is Adam Silver in the NBA. So they're pushing that agenda. So that's why Aaron Rodgers has been protected, and that's the reason why they're pushing him, because he's gay.
Yeah, and I think because they also had something against Brett Favre. That's why they started pumping up Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that too, but Aaron Rodgers is gay. He's gay. Ryan Braun, I think he's the pitcher or whatever in baseball who played for the Brewers. him and Ryan Braun were having a relationship with each other before Braun, I think, broke it off, and now he has a wife and kid. But all this, I'm just saying allegedly, but it's the truth. Aaron Rodgers goes that way, so that's why they push Aaron Rodgers so much. And I think Pat Mahomes might be that too.
But his brother already is enough.
Right. Right. But Aaron Rodgers' brother aired him out about it. It's just that's why he don't mess with his family no more and his brother and them. Like, he got his brother kicked out the league because his brother was talking about his escapades.
Where you pull that word from?
Huh?
Where you pull that word from?
Nigga, from the dictionary, because I read. Mama Dawkins be telling me to read all the damn time as a kid, so yeah. But his escapades, yes, he does that. That's what he does. And I think Pat Mahomes might be down that road too. Not sure yet, but
they gotta make a quarterback.
His brother,
they gotta have a gay quarterback, because it ain't gonna hit until it's the superstar gay quarterback.
Right.
That's when the book is just gonna open up all the way. They tried with these sorry linemen and all these people in the NFL, but as soon as you get a superstar gay quarterback, then the whole league is just gonna be garbage.
Absolutely.
To shithole.
Yeah.
Because it's not gonna be for men to watch no more. The men is just gonna be like, nah, I ain't into this shit.
Yeah, they want to take
everything that you see. You got to question everything that's going on.
Yeah, they want to take all the masculinity out.
Yeah.
That's why they got all this Me Too bullshit. Basically, none but ladies who can't take when a man tell their ass shut the hell up and get in the kitchen. They don't like that shit. They got an opinion now. They're sensitive now.
They can't promote that shit no more. Because the women, they clicked up with the gays, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, they did. Yep. They sure did.
No, we both are getting, because both of y'all fucking niggas soft. That's why.
Right, exactly.
Y'all get in the same boat.
Yep.
I mean, y'all can't compare the men, and then you gay man can't compare the men. Like, so.
Yeah, so that's the truth. Yep. They don't want strong black masculine men.
Oh no, they don't want
at all. That's their fear.
They don't want to promote that.
Oh no. Oh no. They do not want no damn black man and everything. A strong black man. You gotta be fruity or soft.
Yeah, you don't even see condom commercials no more. I used to see them. You remember they had the Magnum commercials?
Oh yeah, absolutely. All the lifestyles.
No, they don't shoot them commercials no more.
Lifestyle is my shit.
Right. They talk about it for being this is for everybody, not this and they still showing that it'd be more for all types of relationships, all styles of relationships. More than it be just
Yep. They want everybody to be docile, man. That's how it is. Like, you can't be strong. You can't tell the truth no more. Especially about a lot of these people that's in the industry. Most of them is soft and sweet. Sweeter than sweet potato pie and peach cobbler. You can't really say none no more. Can't call nobody gay or agate anymore. Or they gonna cancel you. Oh, you're canceled. You call me an agate. Well, that's what the fuck you are. But okay.
Yeah.
I can't call you that shit.
They canceled all that shit out.
Yeah, it's soft now. We got a bunch of these soft ass people out here now. That's what's wrong with America. And it came through Obama and shit. He opened the gates and shit. Him and that bitch ass nigga George Bush. George Bush put the bill in motion, and then the congregation passed it in Obama's term.
She said the congregation.
Yeah, that's all they are. The congressmen, that's all they are, is a congregation like at your church. That's all they are. The deacon and all of them, they're like the board of directors at a company. That's why I call them congregation. I don't call them congressmen or politicians. They're not that anymore. They're a congregation. They all work together. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, we're gonna screw these motherfuckers today. Yep, we're gonna screw them today, Bob. Let's go, Jim. Motherfuckers be Democrats and Republicans. They smoking stogies and drinking and fucking little boys together.
Yeah,
allegedly.
People like to try to play the picture like it's a right and a left. No, nigga, it's the same team.
It's the same damn thing.
They work in the same building.
Yep.
It's the same fucking team.
Yep.
That's gotta be funny to white people and try to make it seem like, oh well, we're more right than them. And I'm like, nigga, no, it's all of y'all versus us. It's not really. Y'all don't really, it don't matter who becomes president. Y'all gonna benefit either way.
Yep.
Only that's not benefiting us. It don't matter who's the president, we still gonna be at a disadvantage. Yeah. Or we still gonna get put lesser than you. You can't see it because you like, well, actually, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat. I'm like, you gonna benefit either way. You're fine.
It's still about rich and poor. It's still about black and white, and it's still really about the bloodlines. That's who really keep control of this shit.
Yeah.
They're not gonna let go of this shit. We have to fucking just straight up take it and burn the bitch down. That's the only way shit gonna change. Shit is never gonna change through voting and all this other bullshit. Nah, they can flip shit any way they want to.
Right. Right. But they also taught us to just vote for the president. It's 3 branches of government. The problem is we're not voting for the other seats and the other politicians. We just letting the shit slide. That's why for years we gotta create.
Those people actually have power, or the people who actually go out and vote for them. That's why people need to look back.
Right.
No one wants to look back at history. But if you look back at history, originally, who was the only people that could vote in this country? Was landowning white men, or the only people that can vote? Not because it was patriarchy and it was only about men. No, it's because those were the people who held money within this country. So that's who they gonna say they want to be able to vote. That's who they want to be able to say, okay, this is gonna be the person that leads us. Because those are the people that can lead to a profit. Nobody else can do that.
Yeah, but the thing is about that as well, I agree. But to add on to double down to that, the thing is, if we would have been putting our own people in the politics, see, we put our own people, see, that's what the gays did. The gays put their own people into the Congress. No, hold on real quick. They put their own people that's like them in Congress, in the House of Representatives, the Supreme Court, the executive branch. You know, it's not just the president. He got his branch, his people around him, like the military men, the generals and that, the secretaries and all that. They put people in those positions. The problem is we don't put our people, we don't train our people to do it, because the system was designed not to let us put certain people in those positions.
We have, and we've tried, because people forget, after slavery, you have Reconstruction. Black Americans was getting into Congress and getting into all those higher places, and they shut that down.
Yeah.
They shut all that down. They burned people's whole neighborhoods to the ground. They burned people who was in these higher positions. They got rid of them. They did all of that. So, of course, anytime that we try, we get shut down. So it's like, it's like you said, the system already ain't made for us to win. So of course, it's like anytime you try, you get shut down.
Yep.
So that's why I don't like when we have gotten into a position now where we have a better chance at being able to turn the tide, and we should, but they're not. But it's like once you had a 300, 400 year plus history of every time that you tried to take advantage of the system or make a change, it literally got burnt to the ground, whether you want to go all the way back to before America was even a country, or you want to go as recent as going to the Black Panthers and their movement. Of course, anytime that we try to build something up, it gets destroyed. So
you're right. Yeah, you're
I don't
right.
be completely mad at, because people, especially now, they trying to be like, oh yeah, well, I'm not like my ancestors. Da 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 da.
I be hating that shit too. I'm not like my ancestors.
On a daily or weekly or monthly basis, Negro, all you do is sit at home and chill. So you can't say that you don't want to be like your ancestors or whatever, because these are people that done fought and did everything else to try to get you in the position that you can do that now.
Yep.
And you want to say, oh, I'm not like my ancestors. Da, da, da.
Shit.
I'm going to actually fight. Negro, you don't even fight at your job. What makes you think that if you was in slavery getting whooped, that you going to, they tell you to do something, you're not going to do it. You're going to fight back. Come on now. That's why I was like, it's like, we too far gone, and until somebody, like, completely changes, they needed some type of leader. Obama could have been that.
We don't need a leader, dog. See, that's our problem. We waiting for a leader. We don't need it. We can lead ourselves. The problem is niggas keep waiting for a leader. Fuck a leader, nigga. I'm a leader. I'm my own leader. You ain't gonna tell me what the fuck to do. I can do what the fuck I want to do. That's the problem with us. We're too busy waiting for a motherfucking savior. We don't need no fucking savior. We can save ourselves. You go to work every day. You don't got nobody saying, nigga, go get your money. Go pay your bill. No, nigga, you pay that shit. That's the problem. We're the only race who fucking do that. I gotta wait for a leader. Y'all motherfuckers waiting for Jesus to come back, nigga. We all gonna be dead.
Yeah.
That's how I look at the shit, bro. We don't need no leader. We can lead ourselves. Niggas just gotta get off their ass and do something. That's how I feel. Who cares if they come in and shoot it down? If we train the other motherfuckers younger than us, when they're killing me or Kano off, we still got you, Davion. If they fuck with you, you still got your little cousins and everybody. We gotta keep building armies. We gotta building through word of mouth, showing the book, showing people shit. Yeah, we're not gonna save everybody. I'm not looking to save everybody. We can't save everybody. But if we can save... Exactly. So if you get the right people on your team, like Kano just said, you get the right people, you're good to go. We don't need a fucking leader. We can teach them to be leaders. So if what happens, let's say Davion, you the leader, right? And you got 8 motherfuckers around you. You teaching them everything. You teaching them the right way, how to do things, how to grow their food, how to build their economics, how to handle their own business, run their own shit. What happened when you get popped off? They not going to know how to do anything because you know why? You didn't teach them how to fish. You gave them the fish. You didn't teach them to go get that fish them damn self, to go fish for themselves. They can't feed themselves now. That's what happened to us. That's what happened to blacks. We were too busy being given the fish instead of going to fish our fucking self. That's the problem with us.
Yeah, they instead of us doing what we used to do, being a carpenter, being a plumber, being an electrician, and being all this and that, they pushed us to fucking jobs and working behind a fucking desk, doing useless shit. So when they shut the company down, shut the business down, boom, you can't get out there in the real world and make no money because you need a fucking business to make the money. And then who controls the business licenses? The fucking government. Cancel and do whatever the fuck they want to with your little business. But if you did some shit and you lived in the country, you could hustle all fucking day and the government won't know shit.
That come all the way back to W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington said we should build our own wealth, have our own stuff. He had the Elite 11 plan where he's like, we need to have our own, we need to, instead of trying to be in their businesses and trying to be under them, we need to have our own elite people. We need to have our own networks, our own programs, our own government separately, essentially. But they were so busy trying to push like, oh no, we need to be equal to them and with them. It's like reason to them. For us to try to do and build our own shit, that's just they gonna say that's anti-American. True. Well, are they? Because they don't say nothing about these. Because guess what? How many black people don't have no Chinatowns? Black people don't have
Facts.
no little Havanas.
Facts.
Black people, so they won't stop. Because obviously they could have did that with these other communities. And black people just don't do it. That's what I'm saying. They followed more W.E.B. Du Bois, and he said, "Oh, we should be pushing for integration. We should be pushing to be equals. We should be pushing to be aligned with their businesses and all that." That's where the problem happens. Because guess what? The Chinese, the Asian community don't have these problems because they got their own.
Yep.
A lot of Spanish people, as much as they want to be aligned with us, a lot of them too, especially on the West Coast, they got their own. A lot of Jewish people, they have their own. All these people have their own. Black people, the only ones who don't, because we follow, instead of what every other successful community, as much as we talk about following people, every other successful community does, they keep their stuff separate. We try to, because we try to follow working.
Yeah.
That's from day one. Says why? China, they still got that culture.
Yeah.
Mexicans still have
got their culture. Yep.
Indians still can have their culture. Even Muslims can have their culture.
Yep.
Black people don't have no culture.
Exactly.
What we do is American.
Yep.
And what that is, white as the fuck.
Yep.
We don't know how to be nothing else. We do everything, but we still don't have that 100-year, 3,000, you know what I'm saying, year history of fucking culture. We don't have nothing. And that's the real problem, because we want to connect, but we don't know what to connect on.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying. Why do we? I don't understand the point. Why do we have to? Oh, we're gonna try to connect to. Oh, well, we should go back. Oh, you should try to connect your roots back to Africa. Because listen.
Well, we're all not from Africa. That's the thing. We don't know our history. The thing is, there were black people who were free while there were blacks who were slaves. There's a man who mailed himself to freedom.
They talk to us about that story all the time.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's the problem also, Davion, with black people. We think all of us are from Africa. No, black people were here already before, because all the continents were at one time one. And then when they broke apart, people migrated. People forget motherfuckers migrated. So there were blacks here in America before Christopher Columbus came to this motherfucker. What just Indians and all that? They just tell you. That's why I hate the school teachings, because they give you part of the story. They don't give you the whole story. They give you 25% out of the 100 of the story. They don't even give you 50% of the shit. So that's what's also killing us, that the double down on what you said, is that we keep thinking, oh, we need to go back. We don't need to go back. Them motherfuckers over there don't accept us.
That's what I be trying to
they
tell
don't.
people. That's why I be like, listen, I don't care what nobody talks about. I'm not an African American.
Yeah.
Black.
Right, I'm black.
The reason why, because my culture and where I come from is completely different than somebody who's African. Just like somebody who's Dominican is going to feel completely different from me.
Right.
Like, even we still have more in common than I do with somebody that's from Africa.
Yeah, facts.
But people don't ever want to listen to that. They so busy trying to connect. Oh, we need to connect back to Africa.
No, we don't.
Go back to our roots. I'm like, no. We have roots in America that you can try to build off of if you wanted to. But that's why I wish that they're talking about the 16-19 plan in school and trying to go back. People are only focusing, especially white people, only focusing on, it's going to make it seem like white people are all bad, all black people are slaves. I'm like, no, if you actually look at some of the stuff in the plan, it don't talk about just the negative effects of slavery and what black people were. It also talks about some of the good that black people have done in this country. That's the real reason some people don't want them to install that into the country, but they don't want to listen to that. They only focusing on the negative parts of it because that's what they've been told they should be focused on. And that's why I'm like, until you have an actual separate programming, it's always going to be like that. and they always gonna focus on the same stuff until they can separate their mind.
One problem I have like share.
Yeah. I'm like, and that's another thing too, is like, I'm like, Spanish people, why do you think at every job, if it's one Spanish person, it's going to be a bunch of them? Because guess what? I can speak Spanish to them and tell them, listen, okay, you want this job, I need to know, oh, you from here? That's cool. I'm from here. Da-da-da-da. They can speak Spanish and have a whole conversation about something that happened or about someone, and nobody knows.
Yep.
Black people can never do that.
But see, that's the thing. We used to talk in jive.
And even that, guess what? They started trying to teach people that.
Yep, that's our problem. We're too trustworthy of people. We taught them jive and all that shit. Instead of keeping it to ourselves, we was teaching everybody that shit.
Everything. White people know everything. Now they can keep up with us. At first, like in the 90s when we were breaking off to our own slang and stuff, they couldn't keep up. They'll hear that shit years later. But now with the internet and TikTok, they can pick up on our dance moves. They can pick up on our slang within seconds. So now anything we say, because they really didn't know, because all they heard was a lot of motherfuckers, bitch ass niggas, they couldn't understand nigga talk. But now you got white boys straight up here having a whole conversation with niggas. He might not say the word nigga, but everything he doing is a nigga. He just copying it and he able to see it instantly. We share too much of our shit. So it's gonna be build because we got too many fuck niggas that's ready to cross the line.
And that's also the problem with trying to build something too, that I was gonna say, is that even when you try to build something, you also got a bunch of Negroes that's just they homegrown monkeys, so they gonna switch over anyways, and they ready to switch over and give the power that they have or the knowledge that they have to the other side. So it's like even when you build, it's so many internal people that want to be white, they want to switch over anyway. It's like they're gonna keep trying to switch over, and then if you have a leader who they think is too white, or black people's like, nah, you're not speaking jive, you're not doing this, you're not dancing and acting like a homegrown monkey, you just acting like an educated black dude. Well then you too white, we not gonna follow you because you're not doing it how we doing it. It's like, Negro, it don't matter because I'm trying to lead y'all to be the better person. But you so focused on this, it's not exactly how I am or it's not exactly what I'm doing, that is like, well, we can't get along at all or we can't do nothing. It's like black people is forgiving to everybody but ourselves.
Yep.
And until they learn and they not going to realize it in any of our lifetimes, eventually, hopefully, one day they going to see it. Or it's going to end up being that they so integrated and so mixed into everything else, it's not going to matter anyways.
Yeah, like Harry said, it's going to be a whole bunch of fucking Steph Curry's walking this world.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's what they want to do. They want that blackness. So that's why they keep doing this DNA shit so they can keep up with the numbers. So now they can be like, I'm 25% black. I can say nigga. What the fuck you talking about?
Yeah.
Be integrated, then they'll be able to put everybody on one accord like they want to do.
Yeah.
Doing shit with the money.
Yeah.
And that's why you got Bitcoin, because they was like, well, we already know what y'all finna do with the American dollar. Y'all finna fuck all that shit up. And if you ain't on top of this shit, you're definitely gonna die.
Yeah.
That's why they did Bitcoin, because the other like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and start taking my money and putting it in that shit.
And I can exchange it with anybody. I ain't have to go through an exchange.
My money is not going to be controlled by what y'all choose.
Yeah, I can take this same coin and buy something in China if I want to. I can buy some property over there with this and buy it over here and buy it in Africa because they can't control it.
Right.
But, they trying to slowly start to control that too. The people ain't watching them do it. They trying to do so much that people just don't pay attention to. Or they see it and they just like, well, it can't be that bad. It's not going to be that bad until it's too late and then it's over. And then they're looking dumb.
They got Facebook prison. They got YouTube prison.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they take your ass from the community.
Yeah.
And be like, because you said something bad, we can punish you, and we're not going to play your videos. Or something that we don't agree with, so we're not going to play your videos.
People ain't realize also with that too is a lot of some of the stuff that they would take down, it would be like, okay, they would say it had to do with racism. If you seen some of that stuff, it would be like whole meetings of KKK members talking about what they want to do to take down a different part of the community, take out a person, So they basically just swept all the stuff that they had under the rug.
Yep.
And then now police want to get evidence. They can't even look at none of this stuff because, oh, well, it's all gone now. I ain't got no evidence to go based off of.
They're not going to incriminate themselves.
Yeah.
That's why they play it how they play it. But that's all they want to do. They just still want to have control to be able to shut your ass the fuck up and like shut you the fuck up. And painting the image in the media as a fuck up and don't fuck with you. That's how they end up taking people punished. That's what they do. They come with some left field shit, or they put a op right in your motherfucking field. Whatever you like Harry said, you like pussy, they gonna send pussy. You like liquor, they gonna send liquor. If it's hardcore drugs, it's gonna be a motherfucker that got all the hardcore drugs for you to kill yourself.
Like they say the reason that all that social media stuff is free is because you is the product. They making money off of you. You all them ads that everybody be seeing and like, oh, I was just talking about this. Now they just sent me an ad for this and everything that I want in it. And I was just having a conversation. I was having a thought about it. I ain't even say it out loud. I was just thinking about it and it popped up. It's because they already know. They got, the computer is smarter than you, bro. Like, the computer already know what you thinking, what you want, when you want to hear about it with the quickness. Because you were the product. They need to make money off of you. They need the ad space. They need all of that. And people just let, because now it's just like, at this point, it's like, it's going to happen anyway, so people just like, I don't really care. That's going to continue to be the problem. And that's when people just going to all be under one accord, all under one mindset and one piece of control, and that's why we're going to be stuck. That's why I'm like, people all want to follow now or trying to all be like, oh, let's all be sensitive to every topic, and we got to make sure that we
going viral, trending shit, you know?
Yeah.
That's all shit.
But that also is what I be talking about. It's like, I'm like, they make stuff seem way worse because instead of it being like, okay, it's one report on the 6 o'clock news about this. That's the only time you heard it that day. You hear it as soon as you wake up, you look at your phone, you hear about it. Then you go through social media, you hear everybody having their opinions about it. Then you go to work, you hear everybody talking about, oh, did you see it on Facebook? Did you see it on Instagram? Did you see this, that, and the other? Then you got everybody on the news, on every TV network talking about it. So it's going to make it seem 100 times, 1,000 times worse of the stuff that they want you to see versus the stuff that they don't want you to see. They just going to completely black it out to where nobody can see anything about it. We're just going to continue to be in the same situation.
Like China, they got control over the whole internet, bro. You can only go to specific sites.
Yeah.
Unless you write code your goddamn stuff and not do all the extra shit. So for the most part, they got control of all that shit. Like, we're gonna be doing the fuck we want to around here. But we own shit. We own everything. Only thing, America, they ain't said it yet. But when they put everything on one accord, they gonna be like, we own everything y'all doing. Your house, what you got, so y'all can't say shit. We jumping on this plane. Fuck y'all.
Yep.
That's what it's gonna be. That's why I was trying to have the house out of the country. So I already know when shit go crazy, bro. Like, shit, it's gonna take a little to come see me, and then when you come see me, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm strapped. I got dogs. I got cows. I got all the shit I need.
Yeah.
Yep, facts.
But even being in El Paso would be good because you can backdoor to Mexico. Like, shit.
Shit, that's what I'm doing. I'm a backdoor right to Mexico, nigga.
Like, we can literally walk from El Paso to Mexico. Like, you can walk
Fuck
right
that shit. I'll go right there.
I'm finna learn Spanish and get to know this essay.
Shit, that's what I've been doing. Shit. Got to.
So I be doing now. Anyway, you can't control if I got a boat. I'll take, even if you stay in Florida, I can take a boat. Cuba, I can take a boat to the island. I can take a boat somewhere that's right around the corner from here. Mm-hmm. I might not be able to walk them, but I'm gonna still be able to get there.
I see some shit on YouTube that they gonna start selling off states back to China.
They've been doing it. They've been doing that for 10 years now.
But you know that's what everybody ain't. Well, a lot of people ain't talking about it. That's what Akon did with Senegal.
Yeah, that's why everybody hate. That's why everybody hate his ass right now.
Yeah.
Everybody trying to praise Akon. I'm like, nobody like that bitch ass nigga. What he did? He sold Senegal off.
Straight to China.
Right.
And people just not seeing it, not recognizing it. They looking at it like, oh well, he's bringing in all this technology and all that. I'm like, no, he's taking it out. That's what he's doing. He's building stuff in there so they can take the resources out of there, and then they're gonna look like a bunch of other African countries that's been like that for years, but Senegal just been behind it because they ain't sell all their stuff off yet.
Yep.
So they just gonna look like every other African country. That's why I'm like, y'all talking about trying to go back and trying to connect. I'm like, y'all gonna go back and instead of y'all being owned by Americans, you just gonna be owned by Europeans.
Exactly.
What?
They ain't ready for that talk, D. Them motherfuckers, they ain't ready for that. You tell them that, they gonna be sitting looking stupid like, hey, you remember on Waterboy when he was finna kick off, he was finna do the onside kick, just like how that nigga was looking. That's how they gonna be looking.
Yeah, exactly. No, if we just gonna go from being owned by an American who they just descendants from the Europeans. I'm like, what do y'all think America got these ideas from?
Exactly.
America only 200 years old, 300 years old.
Right.
These are dynasties and kingdoms that's been around since before Jesus was born. Like, of course. Where do you think they got these ideas from? Like, I don't understand people talking about that everybody always talks about history repeating itself, but then when they see it repeating itself in front of their eyes, they act blind to it.
Yeah, that's true.
That makes sense. I'm like, but that's why I'm like, it's like this country is filled with dummies, and it's not just because everybody is dumb, it's because that's just how they molded it.
Yep.
Because it's easier to sell to a dumb person than it is to sell to somebody who got their own and that's smart enough to be able to survive on their own.
Exactly. That's the truth. And that's what they do a lot of. They sell it, they get it from dumb motherfuckers who don't know what to do with it, and then they make it higher. Make it a higher thing, for you to have to get it. They make it higher for you to get it because they like, okay, I could double this rent. I could double this land now, this property. Shit.
This is how I knew the country was just dumb. I'm like, okay, even whether you support Trump, you support Hillary Clinton, I don't really care because I'm like, they all part of the same.
Yeah, they all the same. Yeah, it's like they all fucking each other.
Y'all seen that Hillary got got more election votes and still lost, and y'all just like, well, I mean, I don't understand how that happened, and they explained it. How it happened and how it was supposed to happen, but because y'all don't vote for the people who are the actual electors,
right?
Y'all only vote for the president, or y'all only vote for the one law that you hear about that your cousin happens to be on the ballot for, so he gonna tell you, hey, you need to go vote for this.
They can write perception into whatever the fuck they want to, make it law, and pass it and benefit from it at any given point of history.
Yeah.
You never gonna get that privilege with the system. I don't care what you do in the system sucks.
Right.
It benefits who it wants to, and it benefits who it was made for. So they can change any fucking law at any given time, just like weed wasn't legal, now it's legal. All y'all did was just agreed on the shit, but you locking people up and painting bad pictures on people for the same shit y'all doing now. Oh, it's good now. So we're right there.
But you know why? But you know why they originally did that, right?
To save the country. The country broke. They needed drugs.
Not only that. I'm saying the original reason that they banned it was because the people who was making profit off of it was the Mexicans. White people wasn't making a profit off of selling.
That's true.
Because they didn't know how to grow it. They didn't know how to sell it. Now they know how to do all that stuff. They know how to make it stronger, how to make it have this certain effect, have that certain effect. They know how to do all that now. So now they like, we can completely control this the way that we want to. So now we're going to sell it to you. Now we're going to sell it to you now that we know the benefits, the adverse side effects and everything that we can do. And we know that all the people that was making a profit off of it for the past 100 years, all of them locked up anyways, or they been locked up. They ain't coming out, and we ain't going to free them anyway. So, I mean, hey, who is left to make a profit off of it? Because all the black people scared to sell it because they like, well, everybody I know that sold it got locked up, and I ain't trying to get locked up. White people, they like, oh, I see it as this is a new business opportunity. When black and Mexican people been like, well, when we did this in the 1930s, y'all basically said it was a crazy drug that made everybody go insane and want to kill people. They said the same thing about 40s too in the South. In the South, they said the same thing about like St. Ides and all that. They said, yeah, about Martin Luther King. That's why it's not as popular now. There was like, it had an adverse effect and caused black and Hispanic men to act more violent.
Yep.
I'm thinking all alcohol do that to everybody. That's not just but it's like they wasn't making the profit that they wanted to off of it. White people didn't drink it, so they was like, we got to get rid of it.
Yep, that's true.
That's why I'm like, I don't understand why nobody be surprised by anything. I wasn't surprised when Rittenhouse got freed.
Oh, absolutely. I knew he was gonna get free. Yeah, because the judge threw the illegal firearm out like 30 minutes before the thing was done.
I thought they was at least gonna they was like, they gonna have to try to save face a little bit by giving him the lesser charge. They didn't even try to save face. They're just like, ain't no Negroes in Minnesota or in Wisconsin anyway. So it's like they not worried about them getting all the problems that they would have had that case here, or they would have had it on the West Coast.
Oh yeah, because all the brothers in Wisconsin was pissed off because they did the same thing. And they got charged. They kept the gun shit on. And then they tried to compare it to that one black dude who got off from shooting the cop, but they still got him on felony gun charges though.
Yeah.
The Rittenhouse thing, and then this would piss me off about Judge Joe Brown. I'm starting to like his light-skinned ass.
But he always been coon. He been a coon since he was on TV.
Exactly. He's a straight coon, bro. And then he gonna try to talk about D, because I remember you told me about that. You was like, man, don't listen to that motherfucker, he a coon. And I was like, okay, I remember.
Like, this one case where he was talking to this one dude, there was a black dude, he was in college, but the people that he was going against made it seem like he was a hood thug, and he was talking slang, so the judge was like, oh, why are you talking like this? You know, you need to be a stand-up young man, pull your pants up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so you're an old school coon. You just like, oh, you need to respect everything. You need to be respectful of what white people's standards is of respectfulness. I was like, oh, no. Versus Mathis actually been in them situations.
Oh yeah, that's why I fuck with Judge Mathis. That's a real ass dude.
Judge O'Brown just say the stuff that white people like to hear, and people don't be peeping that. I peeped that a long time ago when he was still on TV. So I'm like, now that he be speaking out and he be speaking some of the stuff he say I can understand. Other stuff I'm like, it makes sense.
Right.
Yeah,
he's speaking on the side of men, but he don't speak on the side of black men.
Yeah,
right.
Like, I barely listen to him.
He's been working with them crackers all his life, man. He know how to kiss ass.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. And plus, like my boy be saying, he the right skin tone.
Yeah. You notice the only two black male judges, both light skinned.
Right.
On TV.
Right.
Anyway. They both light skinned.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like this nigga light as fuck. I'm like, I was listening to it the other day about the Rittenhouse shit, and then that's when I read the case. I'm like, he talking about they didn't charge him for the legal firearm. I'm like, yeah, because they threw it out.
Yeah. And they threw it out. They threw it out on several little ass technicalities. There's like his gun. It can't be longer than 14 inches. His gun was 13 and a half inches long.
Right.
So technically they couldn't charge him on that. Then they was like, oh well, he had it. He can't own the gun in the state that he lives in, but the next state over is like 30 minutes away, and that's where the gun was.
Yeah, but it was his mom. His mom drove him there. It's his mom's gun.
Yeah.
And because he can't own a gun, because in Illinois, I think you got to be 18. And in Milwaukee, well, not Milwaukee, but, Wisconsin, you got to be 21. And he was 17. So he illegally had a firearm. And this is what I don't understand. If that was you, because I said on one thing, if my little brother was walking down the street, and he dark-skinned it with the rifle he had. I don't give a fuck if it was 13 and a half or 14. He getting gunned down.
Exactly.
So I don't want to hear that bullshit about the law, this and that.
If I go into the neighborhood that's not mine, going in with a gun that big, and not only did he go, he was talking to the cops, having a whole conversation, cool, with his hand on the trigger.
Right.
Like, yeah, what's up, man? You tired? You need some water or something? Like,
right.
But me walking down the street with nothing in my hand could still get gunned down.
Right.
Yeah.
He wasn't
minutes away.
That's what I was saying.
But he was helping them protect their business against loot.
My thing, and then on top of that, I'm like, they was like, well, technically, he didn't own the gun in that state. That's also part of the law. I'm like, how do you not own a gun? So he was using somebody else's gun in another state and killed people, and he still got off with that?
Yep.
I'm like, I knew they wasn't going to get him on the actual murders just because, one, the dudes attacked him, so they going to use that. They're going to be
like,
And then two, the dudes that did it, both of them got like a bunch of things the media can try to construe, like, because one of the dudes, they said he had a bunch of rape charges.
Yeah, and one was a pedophile. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, well, they already finna get rid of them. Them cases may not gonna be like, oh, good job, you got rid of 2 people in this country that were perennial bad people. So I'm like,
they tried that shit with Arbery, but they knew if they let Rittenhouse off and then they let those white guys off, they knew it was finna be some shit.
Oh yeah, they knew they couldn't let them off for that.
Right.
That one. Especially in Georgia, because I'm like, Georgia, y'all richest city is Atlanta. That's in the surrounding areas of Atlanta. That's who get y'all most profit.
Exactly.
So y'all can't let that one case go because y'all know y'all whole state would go up.
Yes, their whole state would be fucked up, like beyond repair.
Yeah. Like I'm like, cause even the mayor of Atlanta, she went to fam. They was already talking about. She was saying in personal conversations, she was like, if they let them go and they tear up the city, the government they're gonna have to have the American government come down here because I'm not gonna force a bunch of my police officers and people in my neighborhood to go deal with them because they not wrong for feeling that way. And I was like, man.
Right. Because it was bullshit. Because I told this dude, I'm like, okay, I don't give a fuck if he walked into an abandoned house. Who give a fuck? He still didn't deserve to get shot like he did.
Bro, it don't matter what he did. He was running on a jog, didn't commit no crimes, didn't do nothing.
Right.
And on top of that, them white people didn't know what the dude looked like. They was just like, black, shot him. And then I also knew that they was gonna let Rittenhouse off because people forget, and a lot of white people was using this excuse too. People forget that the Breonna Taylor boyfriend got let off on that case, so they was like, they gonna use, well, it's the same thing essentially because they was both just defending themselves. And I'm like, okay, but he actually went to jail and sat in a jail cell and was locked up.
Right.
Rittenhouse ain't never seen no cell other than the holding cell he seen for 10 minutes. Like,
and then not only that, D, the dude went across another state and he's a minor. That dude there legally could own that gun, and he was protecting himself because he didn't hear no warning. That was in his house. That was of his residency.
If it was anything else, he'd still be in jail.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. If he would have did that, if he wasn't at his house, he could have had the same gun legally just on him in another person's house. If he do that same shooting, they probably would have locked his ass up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He would have been locked up.
But this dude goes across states as a minor with the gun, killed 2 people, shot a third, and don't get charged with nothing.
Nothing.
Free, like it was nothing. I'm like,
yep.
I was like, it's police officers that couldn't get off with that.
Right.
Like if it's a black police officer doing that to a white kid, they ain't getting off with that.
Exactly. That bullshit, man. I told you.
Right, like I don't understand it at all.
No, none of us understand that shit.
That's the other thing too, is like people, that's why I be like, people talking about you can't change none of this stuff. You can change it just by like, okay, if we have more present in our communities, as much as we talking about we don't F with the police, we don't F with none of them, I'm like, if some of y'all were actually be some of these jobs, police, judges,
thank you,
all this
thank
stuff,
you,
y'all would be able to change the system from inside.
Thank you. And that's what I've been saying, and motherfuckers be thinking, man, that ain't cool. Bitch, ain't about being cool, fool. It's about saving the community. Help if the kids saw you, a brother man, as a cop, and I mean a cool cop, not no gun-ho motherfucker, not a motherfucking coon ass nigga, but a real black man, like a real man. Do you know how inspirational that'll be? That'll be inspirational.
Yeah.
But it's
like y'all watch cops, y'all will be with the cops, y'all will watch Law and Order, so y'all can't say that it's being a cop, it just isn't cool. Y'all can't mess with nobody that's a cop. That's a lie.
Yep. That's a goddamn lie. I agree.
They just gonna have to see.
Yep. I agree with that. I agree with that, D. I've been saying that for years. We need more lawyers. We need more doctors. We need more cops. And if we seen that, but no, we're too busy like, okay, I want to play ball, which ain't nothing wrong with playing ball if you like it, but still, everybody ain't gonna make it playing ball. So do something else. Get at these jobs. Like, yo, a cop, if you have 10 or 15 of us go down to the police force, they gotta accept us. But if you just got one, of course they could turn you away. It's just one of you. We don't think like that, man. And that's disheartening.
Yeah, but I mean, they just don't see that. They so focused on trying to be cool, and they trying to focus on this image that they already, that's already been set as, okay, if you a black person, this is what you should want to do. But
right.
nah, they don't want that. They wanna continue to be on that, and they gonna continue to be on that until people start. That's why slowly some people I see are trying to change the narrative of what a black person can be, slowly but surely. But at the same time, it's a lot of people that they started to go way harder on what they want, all the negatives that they want you to.
Right.
Media. That's why I'm like, even though like, okay, you can get inspiration from some of this stuff. I'm like, all 50 Cent shows, what have they been about? Whether y'all want to talk about it being, oh well, you know, it's this based off true life or it's based off of what really goes on. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but you don't see that don't mean if he can put all that production and making a whole nice story about being a drug dealer and what it is in that life, he can put all the same production and ability into making a story about a black person being a doctor, a lawyer, a police officer with all the same amount of entertainment and benefit. The only thing that might be different is he might not be getting the same support.
Right. He got the show For Life where the guy was in jail and then he became a lawyer, but that's only one show. Like he need I agree with you. He got to show more. Like if he started showing more shows like For Life and like real inspirational stories of a doctor or a black man being a cop, but bringing positivity to the community, he wouldn't make as much money because that's not what they want.
Yeah, they want to be. They want you to be like, I want to be a drug dealer. I want to be a rapper. I want to be an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like people also don't see all the occupations that they have or stuff that damage the person mentally and physically. Because I'm like, as much as they want you to be an athlete, think about the problems that all athletes have, which with most sports that they want black people to play, which it be like football, boxing, and basketball. All these are sports that have some type of contact that one shorten your ability to the amount of time that you can actually make money. So then you might be a millionaire, but you're only gonna be a millionaire for 5 years.
Right. Facts.
And then two, mentally you won't even be able to know what to do with your money. So then somebody who didn't actually earn this money that just happens to be either they're with you or they around you. Now they're the person that controls your money. But the agents, guess what? All the agents who were mostly white, all of them have been millionaires for years and years, benefiting off of person after person after person after person. The people don't look at it like that. They're looking at it as, oh well, if he's an athlete, he made $1 million. They all overpaid. I'm like, okay, his career at the longest, on average, is going to be 2 to like 6 years. So he only made $1 million in them 6 years. Versus you working a job making hundreds of thousands for 40 years. Guess what? You are richer than that person.
Yep.
Or I say you're more wealthy than that person. They are rich, but they're not wealthy because they're not building up their wealth. They just got it dropped on them. It's just like somebody who wins the lottery. Why do you think everybody that wins the lottery, they don't make no money, or they don't keep their money?
Right.
It's just like, it's ironic that the NBA draft is called the lottery, because I'm like, literally, that's what it is. Like, you getting picked.
Facts.
You got the money. Guess what? You're gonna lose all your money by the time you're 36. Like,
yep.
It's just they're gonna see eventually, hopefully. If they don't, well then, at least have you and yours ready to know what is the truth and what they need to do in it.
Right.
To be successful. That's why I agree on you with we don't necessarily need a leader, then you need to, hey, listen, this is what you need to do to be successful. Like, these are the tools that our family needs to be successful.
Right. Right. Like, we don't need we don't need a leader. Like we can lead ourselves. And that's the thing Because you're a leader. You're a leader yourself. Like, you can go get it whenever you want to. Kent can go get whatever he wants when he wants to. Pico can go get whatever he wants to. I can go get whatever I want to. You know, and you add all of us together, that's a stronger group than just one motherfucker who can lead and everybody else is just followers. Right. Like, to me, like, I'd rather have you. We don't agree on everything, but I like that shit because I could learn something. Like, shit, that can help me add to my repertoire. Okay, I'm good now. Then you may not disagree. You may not agree with what I said, but you may take that and think about it later. Like, man, that shit kind of interesting. I can add that to my repertoire. Instead of being with another motherfucker who just agree with everything you saying, what are you actually learning? Like, what are you actually growing from? You're not getting better. That's a waste of a conversation.
Yeah, that's like the greatest. That's why so many people, they'll say the best friendships that they had is people that they were enemies with or whatever. It's because there's somebody who don't agree with them that's gonna get them. Hey, listen, I get what you're saying, but I think this, and this is why I think that. That's somebody who can actually intellectually challenge you. So of course you're gonna be like, you know what? I'm into this person. We might not agree on everything, but I can learn from this person and they can learn from me, and we can build a better two of us versus both of us being yes men, both of us agreeing on everything and not learning nothing and just being stuck in the same spot forever. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that wealthy people talk about all the time is they like, look at your friend group. Like, is it a bunch of people y'all all do the same thing at the same time all the time? And then y'all wonder why y'all are all stuck in the same thing at the same time all the time versus, oh, you got a diverse friend group with different people from different inspirations and different parts of their life. Of course they're gonna be better off because they hearing more things. They hearing like, okay, well, if I'm a man, I'm friends with this woman. She can tell me as a woman what women want if I'm trying to sell this product. Versus if it's just like, oh, if I'm only surrounded by just dudes that's all the same, exact same, we all in the same community, that, of course, I can't market outside of just the people that's immediately with us.
Right.
It's like, even if you want to move on from trying to, okay, well, we need to do it as a culture all together, you are directly influencing the culture to be better just by making your section of your group or whatever better. And people don't look at it like that either. It's like, oh, we all have to be on one accord.
Right. But yeah, bro, it was great talking with y'all. I'm gonna hit y'all back, man. I gotta roll out. All right, one love, man. Y'all be safe. Yeah. You hear that? That is real talk from family. That's my brother, my peoples. And we're not the only ones who see this BS. We have to lead ourselves, teach ourselves how to fish before we can go out in the world because everybody can't fish. Everybody needs somebody to give them fish. Me, I'm going to teach myself to fish. So thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you love what you hear, you can donate to the page by Cash Apping me at the word welcome, the number 2, and an HDiiTV. Thank you for listening, and we out. Deezy.